a little girl named Fanny was sent by her mother to a children's shelter. The head of this institution, Ms. Feynman, created a new identity for the children. To ensure the children remembered their new identities, she would even wake them up in the middle of the night to recite their new names. However, their peaceful days were disrupted by an informant. Fanny and her 8 companions were forced to flee to Switzerland by train. When they arrived at the train station, police began checking documents. Ms. Feynman, lacking the necessary documents, pretended to have lost her luggage to divert attention. To cover for the children, she faked a fainting spell to distract the police, allowing the children, who didn't need documents, to quickly board the train. After shaking off the police, Ms. Feynman found the children and arranged to meet them at the Annemasse station. However, after the tracks were bombed, the children were forced to switch to another freight car. Upon arrival, they encountered a maintenance worker who could have reported them for a reward, but fortunately, he chose to act as if he hadn't seen them. When the children arrived at the Annemasse station, they couldn't find Ms. Feynman, worried that something might have happened to her. They were anxious. Just then, a boy appeared and took the children to a smuggler's car in the mountains. After paying the fare, he left. Now, as long as the smuggler's car reached the Chinese border, the children wouldn't have to worry about being pursued by the Germans. Unfortunately, they were captured halfway. A mother holding a baby, in an attempt to escape, reported the children. The children were then locked in a small house and repeatedly interrogated about who the smuggling ringleader was. To protect Ms. Feynman, the children kept silent. Brave Fanny knocked on the window for help when a cleaner was cleaning. The cleaner brought a nun, who took the children to a convent but didn't allow them to leave their rooms. Fanny realized that the nun didn't intend to save them but rather to imprison them in a different way. So, Fanny and her companions climbed out of an open window and fled again. Soon, the officer chasing them arrived. Fanny had the children hide in a big tree to escape. However, they quickly encountered a bigger problem. After eating some poisonous wild berries, they all started vomiting. With the help of a kind farmer, the children threw up the poisonous berries and gradually recovered. Unfortunately, the German army was about to requisition the farm. The farmer helped the children find a vehicle to escape to the Swiss border, which could take them within 5 kilometers of the border. This last stretch was an open area with no obstacles, making them easy targets for the enemy. Their only option was to run as quickly as possible before the enemy arrived. The children ran with all their might and reached the Chinese border, entering the safe zone. However, when Fanny turned back to carry a little girl who had fallen, 2 German soldiers appeared. They fired their guns repeatedly, but fortunately, Fanny and the little girl reached the safe zone unharmed. Thus, the 9 children grew up safely in Switzerland and never experienced the horrors of war again.